Oh. Here I go. Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello. I am live on all of my Facebooks. I am live on Periscope and I'm live. Hey, beautiful. I am also live on Instagram. So I need to get on all the platforms today because it is crazy. I'm even going to do like a little mini reading for all of us on here too, pulling a card. But the energies are a little bit erratic, can we say? I mean, people are like, but Mama, I thought it was done. I thought we were, I'm like, no, haven't you been listening? Like, yes, I mean, we're in this energy of, it's called Thor's hammer, the hammer of Thor. So we got this energy that's coming in with the hammer of Thor. We also have, I'm just like, oh my goodness. The moon's going into Capricorn. I think it already went into Capricorn. So we have this tremendous energy of creating, could be, yeah. There's this, it'll be later on today. So the moon is still in Sag. So we still have this energy of, with the Sag. It is, making, I'm just looking at my chart, which is over here. And it's making some squares over to, I just like, sometimes when you're looking at all of this, there is just so much energy out there. There's just so much happening out there that you're just like, where do I start with all of this? Like, this is where the universe, and I feel like, this is where the divine God, the goddess is coming in and really opening us up to look at, where are the cracks? Like, are you continually using something or utilizing something that maybe you don't need to utilize anymore? Maybe it's ready for you to let it go. This is where, especially when there's the moon is squaring over to Mercury. Mercury is making the hammer to, and what the hammer of Thor is when a planet is making aspects to two other planets that are making a harsh square. So the harsh square that's up there, of course, is Mars and Saturn. So it's making these hard aspects. And Mercury is the hammer. And next week, we're going to have the same thing with the sun doing the same thing. So we have this hammer. And this is where it's like, where is the hammer coming down in your life? Now, it's with Virgo. Virgo is very precise. It wants to show you what's happening. It wants to show you what's going on. And showing you what's going on, it wants to, this is where, things, could be shown to you. You might be, what I'd say, smited upon, which my lovely astrologer Anne was using the other day. And it was like, you could be smited upon. That could be it. And we also have where we, with that beautiful Venus, she's like shining this love onto these bad boys, and she's in with all of these feelings and emotion. So there's high emotional aspects in here. And I feel like, with this Gemini, because a lot of energy, because there was a double trine last week, with this energy being exploded out, this dual energy of explosion coming out, and it can be going in either direction for us. So there's energy that can be going in either direction. What is the direction that you want it to go into? Where do you want it to go to? And with all of this, I was taking notes yesterday. And when I was looking at it, and I looked at my own hammer, I looked at my own Thor hammer. Gotta love, and it could be a good thing or it could be not a good thing. But this is to look into your chart. So take your chart and take a look at where 25 degrees is in your Aries and 25 degrees Capricorn. Take a look at where that and what house it's in. Then take a look at where 11 degrees Virgo is, because 11 degrees is where it's coming from. So when we look at that and see what house it is, it's going to give you some information on what is being worked upon. What is happening in your life? What are the aspects that are going on in your life? Mine are at 8 and 11 and 4. So I have a lot coming down into my 4th house right now, which is about home and family and setting up home and family. 8th house has to do with deep relationships. It has to do with some foundational work with relationships. And then the 11th house is a beautiful house of opportunity, connection, community, right? So this is what you want to start looking at. And now look into your own chart. What's happening in your chart? Where are these guys transiting in your chart? So it's for me, because I do astrology every day, I love to look at my chart, see where everything's going, and sort of plot out certain things. And I've gotten better with it over the years. So it is a practice that, plotting out things and looking at where things are. And maybe it's like, I got to hang on to things right now. And when I see where the hammer is coming down, it's like I could be the bystander of watching everything, or I could be the person that's being, hammered on, or I could be the hammerer. It's all depending on the situation. Right now, I feel like I'm more of like, okay, I'm just sort of waiting. And Mercury, we know Mercury is the god of communication. He's trying to communicate to us. He's in Virgo. He is home. He loves Virgo. Right? He loves Virgo. This is how I picture Mercury. Mercury's this lovely, 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 beautiful, passionate man. Gay, we can call him gay, and he is just passionate about, and he wants to communicate. He has information for you. He's in his favorite house. He's in Virgo. He wants to tell you things, and it's all coming out. How it comes out, because Mercury is just, I'm just telling you like it is. I am just pointing things out and showing you as it is, and I'm giving you that passion. I'm giving you that inspiration to show you what is not working or what is working. That's what he's doing. And when you get into Virgo, because Virgo is precise, it's preciseness. It wants to get, that's wrong, that's off. Like, this is what I love about my Virgos. They'll come in, and like right now I got a picture that's sort of crooked here. I haven't fixed it. But they'll come in and they will fix it. It's not level. Or they'll notice that, okay, if you want your pictures hung, it's like they want them hung in a certain, they'll tell you if it's off or not. That's a Virgo. Like, they can pinpoint certain, like, bang. That's what they do. So when they're pinpointing things, when they're showing you things, and when the god of communication is coming in and saying, you know what? There's some things that are off in your life. Are you listening? We're trying to give you some hard aspects here for you to wake the fuck up. But it's like, how long? Let's say I had this beautiful, this is one of my favorite cups. So I have one of my favorite cups, that I'm using, my Disney cups. And it's like, okay, if I had a crack here, and keep pouring the hot coffee in it, is that a smart thing to be doing? Probably not. But it's my favorite cup, and I just want to utilize it. And I just want to use it. And Mars is like, And Mercury's like, Do you think that's wise? Do you think it's wise to continue using the cup? And you're like, but maybe I have one more try at this. And this is where we're looking at a lot of the energies are coming in saying, is it worth the one more try? Is there something that is actually really working for you and really doing well for you? And that's what you got to go with. That's where you got to just grab the bull by the horns and say, yeah, baby, this is what I'm going for. This is where I feel my energies need to be going. Because when we go into and we look at where Uranus is, and Uranus is retrograde, he is the one who brings in change. Like, he brings in change, right? An erratic change. And he brings in this erratic energy that's there. And as we are bringing in this erratic energy, and as we are bringing in this change, he's also the one who's kind of like on vacation. He wants to bring in the change, but he's like, you've already set the stage. You've set the stage. If you want to change the stage, you have to do the work to change the stage. There's not anyone else who's going to come in and change that stage setting for you. And that's where the energy is. It's coming in to say, you know what? And it's trining over there to Mercury. And it's saying, you know what? I'm trying to tell these people. And Mercury's going, yeah, honey, I just know. Look at this and look at this and look at this. This is all out. And nobody wants to do anything. So this is where you have an opportunity to change. It's giving you an opportunity to change what you need to change or not. You don't have to. The universe is like, okay, cool. You don't want to? Well, we'll work on that. Right? And you got locked out for your comment. You know what? Oh, I don't know what's happening with Periscope. It's bringing some crazy thing in. But this is where it is. This is where you know, with Mars, where this is coming in, and with Mercury, this rules school. So things that are happening with schools, this is ruling government, what's going on with government. This is ruling, you know, communications when it comes to anything that is of our learning, things of what we are needing to do, things are, you know. So right now, everybody's worried about schools, you know, the kids going back to school. Some kids are back in school, depending on, you know, if you're in the States and that, they're back in school. They might be homeschooling. They might not be homeschooling. There's so many questions that are coming in. And it's adjustments. And it's adjustments that we need to fix and change. Right now, I think, was it Ontario that was doing protests? Or Florida. Florida was doing protests. The teachers are protesting because they do not want to go back into the schools. Right? So we're going to have other things that are going to be coming up, and people are going to thank you, that are going to be protesting. Anyways, I'm going to go back to my cup, but you know the one reason, you know, for those who follow me, why this is such a beautiful cup for me. So, because anybody who knows who my Archangel Michael is, the rock, who's the voice. Sorry, I have to do my plug there. But this is about clearing things out. This is looking at, you know, has to do, again, with the government, the schools, not giving, going, what's going on. This is where we need to look at the forwardness, no matter what. So this is about us. We still have to move forward. You can't stay still. Mars is in, you know, this is where it's coming in and looking at, you know, what's your dream team? What is it that you are dreaming for? What is it that you are wanting? What is it that you're aspiring for? And working on them and creating them. And this is where you need to start coming in and saying, okay, this is what I need to do for today. Because things are radically changing, and we're going to see the radical changing coming in faster and faster and faster and faster. It really is. And we're going to be seeing things coming out and restructuring and new ways and change. So we're going to be seeing this energy coming in. And between September and November, we are going to be undergoing the biggest reno that we've ever seen. This is where, you know, what I've said, there's going to be food shortages. There's going to be some crazy stuff that's going to be hitting the fan. We're going to find that this is where, you know, where this is an energy too, where, you know, where Uranus was, you know, in the 30s, and people were moving to the cities. Now we're finding people are moving out of the city. They don't want to be in the city. Who wants to be in the city? Right? So a lot of people are looking at, okay, what kind of land can I buy? Let's move out of the city. Right? So, and a lot of people with their jobs, they don't have to be downtown. They don't have to be in the building anymore. Companies are finding now that this is restructuring, where it's like, wow, I can save a lot of money by not having people in the building. Why am I keeping a building when I saw that things can still run? I mean, if I was a business person, which I am, but if I had my own corporation, a big corporation, I would actually, you know, rather farm people out to work out of their home than to come into the office. But then also this is coming in where it's making a lot of changes with people's mental well-being, because that really can fuck people up, because they really want to they want to have that connection. They want to have that connection. But this is finding the joy in the process, and that's where we're coming to. Through all of this, it's finding that joy, finding that connection. What is it that we need? And watch what needs to be illuminated in your life. So watch what needs to be illuminated, what needs to be changing. And it could be, maybe it could be something as simple as dinner. It could be something as simple as changing your workout routine, right? It could be that. It could be something of maybe driving a different way to work, or driving, or whatever. It could be simple things that could be the change, right? Doesn't have to be big dramatic things, but it could be simple things. So we need to pay attention to the process. And this invites us to do things in new ways. This is inviting us. This hammer of Thor's hammer is inviting us. And what I find interesting when I'm looking at astrology is that we had 2 yods that came in, the finger of God. Now we have the hammer of Thor coming in. And when I see these things, it's like, and especially like, because this is like 1 week after another week after another week that we're seeing all of this. It's like you look around and you're like, okay, isn't anybody else paying attention to this? It's like the redwoods were in Yellowstone, I think it's Yellowstone National Park. They had a fire. The things that burnt down were anything man-made, the man-made structures. I thought it was kind of funny. And the redwoods are still there. The trees are still there. They're 2,000 years old. They've been through fire before. They'll be fine. But I mean, a lot of things like this are happening. The fires, the double trine fires. You know, we got a fire in Penticton. Bang, lightning hit. Psh, crazy fire just took off, right? So this is like, you know, this energy of like, okay, there's change that is happening. We're finding where, and I'm just thinking of that couple that just stepped down in the White House, right? Because their daughter, who's 15, was tweeting out, and they said, okay, we got to handle things at home. And so they stepped down because of their daughter, right? So things, that's a hammer of Thor right there coming in. So this is what we need to look at. You have a great day at work, love. So this is what we have to look at, is finding and seeing things that are happening in our life. And they might be doubles too, because of the twins, because of Gemini, because of all of energy escaping through Gemini. So as I said, there's like so much crazy shit happening right now that we have to really take some time and tally up. Where is it that, in what direction are we going? Or are we just sort of, hoping for the best and maybe next month is going to be better? You know? And this is where we really have to start taking some, looks. And, as we look at where the moon is right now, and the moon will be heading into Capricorn. It's going to be passing over Jupiter, Pluto, and making all of those aspects over to Mars. So it's going to be illuminating. It's going to be going into a lot of eternal energy that's there. And there's a lot of activity and activation that's happening. So this is where I think for when you look at the energies that are coming in and how things are forming, it's, to me, it's like, okay, I know when Mercury goes into Scorpio and goes retrograde, for me, that's going to be really activating a lot of things to come back. You know, I'm going to start bringing in a lot of things that has to do with, because that's all going to be in my 5th house. So, you know, this is what you look at. Okay, this is all going to be activating. This is all going to be happening. So Mercury is going to activate some things in my 5th house. And he's also going to be hitting up against my sun. He's going to be, you know, hitting up Mercury in there. He's going to be hitting up, I think Uranus is in there. There's a whole bunch of dudes that are in my 5th house. So this is going to be activating a lot of energy in my house when he goes retrograde. So this is where when you know, when you get a natal chart done, or you do your natal chart, I always think, you know, I think it's better to get a natal chart done to give you some understanding, because a lot of people will go on Cafe Astrology or astro.com, or there's quite a few other sites that do it for free. But if you're not understanding the houses, you're not understanding, sometimes it's the glyphs, and you look at the glyphs, you're like, I have no idea what that means. There's a lot of information that comes in. So getting somebody who can decipher it is a really good idea. So having somebody to decipher that to help you along. So just giving you the information. So right now, I feel this is where you have to just live, you know, like, let's say, okay, if this mug isn't doing what you need to do, then this mug has to go. And then you have to find what mug is going to do it and replace it. If you find this mug is doing fabulous and it's still in great shape and you just love it and it's doing what it needs to do, then you continue using that and you continue doing what it is that's bringing you the love and the joy and the prosperity and the abundance. If that makes sense to you guys. That's where the energies are. It's saying, okay, what is working? What are you doing? What is bringing you, what, you know, are you still hanging on to relationships that don't work? You know? And if so, why? There's a reason for it. Don't beat yourself, because there's a reason why we do what we do. There's a reason why there's, you know, that person is still in our life. There's a reason, right? So I'm going to pull out some cards for us today. I didn't do my big reading on Instagram today as yet. I will be doing it later. My 21-day meditation starts September 1st. I have Journey Club starting September 13th, and September 21st, I have Reiki level 1 and 2 consecutive. So it'll be on the 21st and then the following week. And that's a certificate program. So if you are wanting to register, the 21-day meditation is a Kundalini meditation that we're going to be doing, and it's going to be working with the heart energy. And we're going to be doing the protection and projection of the heart. So if you want to join me for that, that's $75. If you join Journey Club, you will get the 21-day meditation for free. So, okay, what are they trying to tell us today? Oh, well, we got the 9 of Pentacles upright. So I got the 9 of Pentacles upright. So here we got the 9 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Pentacles is coming in, and it is a beautiful card. I mean, she's all dressed lusciously. You know, there is the falcon. So there's a little bit to do with ego. Ego is there, you know, and it's ready. It's on alert. Yet there is sort of this feeling like, things are going to go okay. I like, you know, I'm taking stock of everything that I've done. I love what I have. I'm in a good place. So if you're feeling like you're in a good place, this is like taking a look around. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like what's going on here. You know what? I love my curtains. I love my dress. I love my hair. I love this. I love that. This is what's going well. This is very Virgo, right? This is very Virgo, Taurus. I love what I have. It's got to feel good. The sheets have to feel nice on my skin when I go. You know, I know some people who still iron their sheets because they just love that feeling of ironed sheets. When your sheets are ironed, when you put them on the bed, they love that crispness. And so they still iron their sheets. I don't know who I don't iron any. I don't iron nothing. But this is where it's like, you know, maybe there are things that you really, you know, this is appreciation, all the things that you really love. And the guidance card that's coming out is the Sun. So wow. So we got the Sun card coming out with the 9 of Pentacles. So there is this exuberance of energy that's coming in to enlighten us. So Dana, don't you iron your sheets? I'm just giving her a hard time. So with the 9 of Pentacles, because I love this, because it tells me the angels, usually tells me the angels that go with it. And no, I don't have it all memorized. Some things I've memorized, not this. I don't even have the angels memorized for all the signs. So if you didn't know, there's an angel for every zodiac sign. And that's pretty cool. Maybe it's not. Maybe it doesn't. No. So there is an angelic message. May you recognize and appreciate all that you have accomplished. So appreciating. Who's Virgo's angels? I'd have to pull out my book. I don't know who the angel is for Virgo off the top. But there's an angel for every sign in the zodiac. And then we have, but it's reversed. We got the 7 of Swords reversed, which is kind of like looking at everything that we have. And knowing that things are, you know, I'm in a good spot. This is really nice. I have a roof over my head, food on my table. I'm in a good spot. I don't have the book on hand with me. I'd have to go through my stuff and find it. So it's not just handy. I'll let you know. The 7 of Swords, when it comes in, it's really coming in, and it's like showing us that there is somewhat of a block. So this could be where Thor's hammer comes in. This could be where something comes in and awakens you or smites you to say, hey, this isn't working. You got some really great things going on, but you might have to do some adjustments here. And the fear is holding you back in some way. So there's a fear that's holding you back. And with the 7 of Swords, I turned right to it. It's, you know, that you got to believe in yourself. You think you're getting away with some things now, but watch out. It may come to bite you. So the energies are coming in and saying, you know, and it's reversed. And when it's reversed, it's like, what is weak? What is weak in your foundation? What is the weakness in your foundation that you are not paying attention to, that you are avoiding? Because things are great, but in every court, king's court or queen's court, there's always something or someone that might be not doing it right. That's not doing it right. So there is this energy that's coming in that is saying that, you know what? Yeah, we have everything going well, but it's always good to go around and check your foundation. So this is where I feel like, you know, with this energy coming in and looking at the astrology, that things are going, you know, for some people, things are going really well. I think things are going great. But are you making sure that everything in your foundation is secure? Are you doing what you need to do to make sure your security, and security is coming in? So making sure that everything is secure. The sun is shining in. So, and the sun, remember, is in Virgo. So the sun is shining in and saying, okay, Are you adjusting what you need to adjust? Are you doing what you need to do in order to maintain or continue to create that beauty and love that you have in your life? And this is what we have to look around at, because as we go further on into the fall, we know, I could tell you by next week, and I could see it when I went into the grocery store today, that there's going to be some shortages. And I was talking to the butcher today at Safeway, and he says, yeah, we're not getting, I said, oh, where's, where's the ground hamburger? And he goes, well, we're not getting everything in right away. Not everything's coming in. And it's like, oh, interesting. So he's not saying that he's not getting it. It's not all coming in as they need it, right? So he was trying to say, like there are certain, we're getting certain things in, but we're not getting everything, right? So this is what we have to look at. You got to go to a rancher. Yeah, you got to go to a rancher. But the one thing about going to a rancher, you could go to a rancher, you can buy a cow or half a cow, but where are they going to get it butchered? That's where the fallback is. Where are they going to get it butchered? Because legally, I mean, they could butcher it themselves, but they have to make sure that they have everything set up for the butchering. And the thing is that that they do out here, they do it themselves. Yeah, but this is where, okay, there's so many complications that come with that, Candace. And someone, yeah, so if they own the butcher shop, but then again, there's also backup that's coming in with these guys. So how many can they butcher? How many cows can they butcher? So if you have 100 people coming to you, can they butcher 100 head of cattle? It's not called cattle either. It's called something else. So can they do that? So these, there's so many implications that are coming in with this. So yeah, which is good, which is awesome. And I think that's great. And it's something that people have to look into. And do that. So, and that's where people have to do their research and look into it. So, for that. And for the farmers and stuff like that. But not everybody has access to that either. So if you're living in a big city, like for me, I don't have access to the farmer. I don't have access to a rancher, and do that. Oh, I would not want to own chickens. Not unless I have a big plot of land. Chickens stink. And all that shit, that's a lot of shit. But I have access to a car, but I don't have access to the farmer. Like I don't know who the farmer is or where to start searching. So that's where a lot of people have problems. If you are a person who lives in the city, so I'm just saying an average person living in the city, it is like you'd have to really, maybe get on your research, maybe know it's, there's a lot there that it entails, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm making it more complicated than it has to be. I could be doing that too. But it's like, for somebody who is a city dweller to do that. Right? And to go out there and do that. Oh yeah. Oh no. It's not complicated. It seems because, when I go to a butcher and they say, okay, what do you want? Like, I want a half a cow. Well, what do you want out of the half a cow? Here's my issue. It's like, I have no idea. I have no idea what I just want the meat. I don't know how many steaks. I don't know how much that is. I don't know how much ground beef to get. I don't know if I want how much roast I want, or, do I want anything else out of it? I don't know. So, but see, yeah, and I'd be like, okay, I'd still, to me, it's just, I you know what? I'm a lazy person. I'd like to go to the store and just buy it. But I'm telling everybody else, same with farming. I mean, we could grow all our own stuff, but not everybody's growing. Not everybody has a garden, right? Not everybody has a garden and growing. So, that's the thing. So it is, it's, you know, it isn't complicated, no, but it's also people's mind frame in doing it. So our community doesn't have a community garden. Do you have stuff planted in your community garden? Do you have access to the community garden? Can you go take whatever you want out of the community garden? So, yeah. So, I mean, I think this year, this is where the renovations is coming in, where people are going to be wakening up. And what we're also going to be seeing is like where there are people, let's say there's a mom on welfare, she can't go buy half a cow, right? A lot of farmers aren't going to barter. I can tell you that. They're not going to barter. But they're, you know, especially if they're having to raise and feed their cows. But what I'm saying is like there's a lot of families out there who don't have access to that. Right? The community garden, they're out there. Yeah, but not everybody has access. Like it's here's the issue. Now I'm going to the underlying energy to this, all right? So this is all great. But just one second. Olivia, can you go get your son? Well, I'm online. Oh my goodness. So sorry about that. See, here's the underlying thing. If you're a person on a very limited income, one, you don't have transportation. The only transportation you may have might be the bus, right? So you're on a very limited income. You might have a couple kids. This is where it's going to be hitting the fan, right? For somebody like me, because I could probably go out and buy half a cow and it'd be okay. I could buy half a cow, go out, get the garden, whatever, and do that, right? I can get to, you know, the market and things like that. There are people, and there's a huge population, and this is where it is. And not everybody has access to community gardens, right? So if you live in the Northeast, you don't have access to community gardens. If you live in like Marlborough, Pine Ridge, in lower income areas, there is not community gardens. Now, this is where the issue is going to be hitting the fan. And this is where the awareness has to come in. Because these people are going to be running out of money. They're not going to be having money because businesses have closed. And we're going to be seeing that in September. People are not going to be having the access to the food because not everybody has access to the farmers or the gardens, right? Right? So not everybody, because I lived in Temple. I know people in Marlborough. They don't have access. This is where it's great for us sitting back. And this is where issue comes in. It's great for us as people when we sit back and we say, well, there's the garden, go do it. There's the mom who's sitting there on a minimum income, a limited income with 3 kids. And there are different things they can get access to, but it's very hard. Okay? And this is where activation has to come in. This is where community has to come in, because we can say things, but we're going to find, and this is where the renovation is going to be coming in. And this is where other things with this renovation comes in, because renovations, and this isn't just changing the sink out. This is gutting everything. And that's the whole thing. But that's where the issue is. If you see what I'm saying. We can point fingers and we can say this. Well, you got to do this. You got to find this. You got to find this. It'll take this eruption for it. And this is what Uranus does. It'll take this eruption and throw it all to the surface for people. Okay? And it's going to take that eruption and throw it to the surface in order for things to actually get changed. And that's what we're going to be going through for September, October, November. And this is where people are going to have to, be away. So, and do that. And, for me, I can go to the farmer's market or what have you. I have access to that. But if you were in in a mindset of somebody who was on EI. Like if my daughter wasn't living here and EI ran out and stuff like that, and it's hard for her to find a job right now in certain things. So this is where things are going to be hugely erupting for us, right? And this is where things are going to be coming in our face. And it's not necessarily, it's going to be a little bit. Now, this is why Canada is always an aftermath. So things are going to be erupting probably out back east in Toronto. We're going to be seeing it. The prairies, where we're going to go through Manitoba, Saskatchewan are going to be okay. But they got a lot of hidden spots. And then Alberta and then BC. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be disrupting over the next 3 months that we are going to be seeing in order for us to recreate a new reality and a new world. Can I talk to you in 1 minute? And this is going to be creating a new reality in our world. And this is going to be creating something that we all have to look at, because our economy, when it comes to our economy, when it comes to our social economic system, we are now awakening to things that are not working. We're awakening to shipping lines that don't work. That oil spill. Who's responsible? They don't even know who's responsible. It's a Japanese oiler who's this coastline is being ruined. The Beirut bombing. These are things that we're being awakened to, because all of this has effect on us. All of this has effect on how we connect. So when you go out and you're looking at those gardens and you're looking at that community, post it out. Get it out there on Facebook. Let people know, because not everybody does know. And this is where maybe it's going to click in somebody that they're going to say, hey, maybe I can use their backyard or something. So this is awakening. This is where things like, I know you can go pick fruit from other people, like people have a crabapple tree or what have you, and you can go in their backyard and pick fruit. There's a thing like that in Calgary. There's also where you can community garden or something that it's called, that you can go get fresh produce and stuff. So there are places, but it's sometimes people just don't know until it's communicated out. And more, and the thing is that it's got to be communicated out every single day in order to make radical changes. And that's where this comes in. That's where we have to start looking at it, because this sun in Virgo is going to be precise, and it's going to show you. It's going to show you, right? And things like that. It's going to show you. And there is a lady in Edmonton who started a company, and she had a bike. And she asked her friend if she could use her backyard as a garden. And the friend said, sure. And then that friend was talking to her neighbor, and the neighbor said, hey, I got some land. If she wants to use my backyard, I don't care. So then she had 2 yards. And then it started that neighborhood. And she started gardens in all these neighborhoods. And she was there every day and doing it. And she ended up actually quitting her job because this became her full-time job. Other people were paying her to do the garden. She started becoming that gardener because she just had a passion for it, right? And having that passion. And now she's doing it full time in Edmonton. And she's had to hire people. She has like 40 or 50 backyards that she's doing this in. Fabulous idea. I think that's an awesome idea. And maybe this could be a plan for somebody to start putting together for next year. Because we're going to be seeing that it's going to be needed more so next year than it is this year. This year is sort of like the trigger. This year is like the big boom of activation and activating us and getting us to go into where we need to go. That's what this is. This is the activation. This is the time of saying, hey, yeah, you know what? We have some really great things that are wonderful in our life, but we need to start getting into and start to say, okay, this is what I'm going to start planning. I'm not sure exactly how it's all going to turn out, and that's okay. But I'm going to start putting that in motion because that's where my passion is. Are other people going to criticize you and not like what you're doing? Yeah, they're going to tell you that you're crazy or loopy or whatever. But this is where you got to keep your laser focus from the Virgo and continue on doing what it is that you desire and need to do. And in doing that, that's where my guides are showing me. That's where the openings are. That's where that woman who has hardly any money, who's a single mom because she had, a dickhead boyfriend, husband, whatever, left her, and she says, hey, let me get involved in the community. Oh, look at that. There's a community garden. Oh, look at that. There's this backyard that I can, be a participant of. It takes courageous and it takes guts to do something like that, because you're stepping out of your you're stepping out of your sort of safe zone, and you're stepping into something new and creating something new. And that's what's fabulous about it. Yeah, exactly. And especially with communities that they have told that they're not allowed to plant gardens, which is fucked up. But this is where you're going to be seeing all of those buildings that are going to be abandoned downtown. And that's where I see a lot of buildings abandoned, being resourced or refurbished for something else. It could be even for low-income housing. It could be for, indoor gardens, starting indoor gardens and things like that. So there's so many things that can be started, can be utilized. So there's so many ideas out there, right, that can be done. Rooftop gardens, fabulous. Those are and they cool the building and they do so many good things. So this is what we're going to be seeing. So these are the positive things that are coming out of this, crazy energies that are happening right now, right? And this is where we need to start looking at and creating some newness in our life. So I'm going to leave it on that. I got clients that are texting me now. I'm like, where are you, mama? And get going here. But my guides just want to keep on going. But this is where this hammer is coming in. This is where change is coming in. This is where we can find our joy, and this is where we can find things to happen. And you know what, Candice, if you have those definitely butcher and stuff like that, and cool, let me know. I would love to know, and spread out that word. Also, I'm just going to remind people the 21-day meditation. Awesome meditation. It is a beautiful one that we're going out and we're bringing this energy in. And it is one that is very simple to utilize and use. And we start on September 1st. So please join me. It is $75. And we also have Journey Club and Reiki and everything else. So sending you guys out so much love. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you do and all that you be. Blessed be everybody. Sorry I had to yell at my family, but it's a live show. God bless everybody, and the goddess bless you. Bye-bye.